Hi, everybody. This is Chris,
This is Matt.
and I don't have a funny thing this month.
Nothing at all?
No, I was like, okay, it's go time, man. No, I got nothing. I got
No.
no
This
clever.
month you're just Chris and I'm just Matt.
Chris, you're always my love machine.
Oh, that's
And
nice. And you're always my, what were you?
rubber duck.
Coyote? Rubber
No,
duck.
I could be your
Aw.
coyote ugly if you want.
Don't dance on your desk. Nobody wants that. No,
Anyway,
nobody wants that.
nobody wants that. Especially me. Anyway, hi everybody. It's Chris and Matt, and we're here to talk about the Incredible Machine. Every month we pick a game, we play it for a month, then we come back and we talk about it. Halfway through the month, which is we pick a short game, something we can play in a day to put a little bit more out there, but at the same time not suck a lot of time. And this is one of those games. This is not a review. This is not something we're scoring or rating or anything like that. We're just going to talk about our personal experiences with it. So if you have a different experience, leave it in the comments below. We love our comments, even when we don't.
Yep.
We always
Even when they don't love us, we
even
still
when
love the
we still
comments.
love the comments.
I think I'm universally loved.
I think you
You,
are.
you could go either way
Well, I mean, you're on shaky ground now
because I cut my beard.
because you cut your beard. You
The
had an epic beard, magnificent beard. Now you got a beard.
summer, man.
It's hot, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You get bees in there.
Get bees in
You're riding
there.
your bike.
You
It's
don't want
not
bees in
good.
your beard. No,
No, nobody wants
no,
that.
no one wants a bee beard. Um, although I kind of like those like stunt people who have like the beard of bees.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. We won't be doing that on
No, not a chance.
YouTube.
I don't
So,
screw with bees.
mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Anything else, I'll work my way around. Not bees. You're done. What
No,
else?
no. I saw
Wasps.
My Girl in like 1992. Do you remember that movie with where Macaulay Culkin gets
Mm-hmm.
killed by the bees?
Yep.
Ever since then, I'm like, hell no.
Hell no.
I don't want to go
Bees
out
and
like Macaulay
autoduel.
Culkin.
Just don't
Yeah.
mess with them.
Yep.
Just
Done
say
with that.
no. That's my one per show. All right.
Yeah,
uh,
so we're talking about the Incredible Machine,
we're talking.
1993, Sierra. You can see you have the
Yeah,
half dome up there,
I
the
do.
half
Yep,
dome at Yosemite. That's the Sierra logo. Did you know that?
I did.
Okay. Did you know this was published by Dynamix?
I knew that, but thank you for telling people at home because I don't think it says it anywhere else.
Right. And Dynamix is noteworthy in my game history because they published my first game I really loved, which was Red Baron. I loved Red Baron.
Red Baron's good. Red Baron's on our
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
I had like immediately had five things to say about Red Baron, but we're not talking about Red
We're not doing
Baron.
it.
We're talking
We're
about
not doing
Incredible
it today.
Machine. And again, if you're new here and we've talked about how it's not reviews, we also go off the rails. This is a book club format, so we're gonna see where the conversation takes us. Right now, the conversation is going to take me to this intro screen because I think it's kind of cool. It sums up the game and all the pieces
Yep.
just sort of instantly, and it's it's a series of Rube Goldberg machines, Tom and Jerry style, set stuff up to make
Yep.
something happen.
It's fun. It's lighthearted. You probably like played it in your school's computer lab in 1993 or 94.
Yep.
Uh, and it's real simple. Like mechanically, it's pretty simple. You can't do a lot with the machines, uh, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It 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 starts very easy. Like the way I played it, like I didn't read the manual first.
Nope.
I just went right in. I was a little confused by the
Turning
chains
like.
or whatever you hook up
Okay.
the mouse wheel to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go read the manual. The manual tells you how to beat the first level, which I think is a good decision
Yes.
because that's all you need to play the rest of the game.
Yep.
Like you beat that first level and then you're good to go. Like you don't need anything else.
And it's all
And
make something fall on something else to make something else move to make something else happen. And each level has its own objective, and there's a creative mode.
mhm. I did
Um,
not play creative mode at all. I got pretty task oriented. I like trying to, accomplish the goals.
right.
So that was my main jam.
So I did that, and that's what we're gonna watch here. We're gonna watch me spoil like the first 15, 20-ish levels.
Hmm.
Um, but I wanted to see what my kids would think. So I put it in front of them.
Hmm.
And they did the puzzles for about 5 minutes, maybe. And
Hmm.
then we're like, eh. And then put it on creative mode, and I couldn't get them off it for 2 days,
Wow, that's great.
which surprised me because I'm like, this game's not going to hold up to kids who've played Minecraft or kids who've played everything they've played.
Hmm.
And no, had a good time. Just sat down and enjoyed it for what it was. I think the one thing this thing really has going against it is the control. Did you think the controls were clunky? I thought they were hella clunky.
Yeah, it's not smooth at all, and it's not super consistent either. Um, like it's you're not doing it really under pressure, but it would be nice if it were a little more elegant in how it moved, how you like expand the bridges, how you hook everything together. It's
Right.
not real smooth.
No, and I mean, it is in its defense a DOS game,
Hmm.
not a Windows game. So a lot of the Windows mechanics, a lot of the things like that, Windows 95 set in place, this game didn't really have to use as a template. Um, so I give it a little bit of slack, but
Sure.
I still found myself frustrated with how some stuff like clunks around and the mouse doesn't quite grab something just right, or you got to
Hmm.
hover over it to get the other thing to appear and then it drags more than I wanted it to. And it's like, just let me use you. Let me play this game.
Right. This was from an era when like drag and drop was kind of a big deal. Like we were just figuring
Yeah,
out. Do you remember when like they put like solitaire in Windows to
you'd
teach you
learn to
how to
play
drag and
Windows.
drop because it
Yeah.
was like alien as a
Hmm.
concept. So yeah, I give it some a bit of a pass on that. But you're right. Like it's not really graceful or elegant to use at all.
No. And we'll talk about what a modern one of these would look like at the end because I want to wait till the end to talk about that. But
Yeah. Yeah,
for its time,
yeah, it was good. It was good for its time. Like you can't dog on it too bad.
mm,
It's weird that to just like be able to put stuff floating wherever,
yeah.
like the windmills and stuff. It's kind of I don't know. There's just like there's some fundamental human thing where we like it when things bump into other things, and because there's like a million YouTube videos of people making things like this, and like I always wanted to make these kinds of
Yeah.
devices when I was a kid with the marbles that roll down the thing. Like
Any OK Go video.
yeah, right, right. There's like something hardwired in humans that we really like that, and
I
this
sh-
game just does it.
I should have had the intro be "Here we go again." I should have said that at the beginning. We got to
Oh,
go back and edit that in because that would have been a
you're not gonna
nice.
go back and edit
Oh.
that. You do not have the patience or energy for that.
I think going off topic. I think us editing this would package it too much and it'd lose its heart. That's why I don't. I'd rather we just be ourselves and say what we're going to say.
Yeah,
And sometimes
yeah.
we're going to piss people off with it, but what you going to
Yeah. You know,
do?
you don't have to watch.
We're going to get things wrong. We'll talk about them in the comments. If you're like,
Yeah,
they didn't know that, check the comments. Someone has probably told us. And if not, tell us. I love to find out things.
I really do like that because these games are so old and they've been played by so many people that there's all kinds of just like communal knowledge that you might not get just sitting down and starting one day and playing it. I
No,
really like that.
yeah. Another thing I forgot that I wanted to mention. Somebody, after 30 years, finally beat Questron and commented on it in our thing. I'm
Oh,
so
congratulations,
happy.
viewer. Yeah.
Congrats to the person who finally finished Questron.
They
Um,
went back. It didn't take them 30 years. They went back and beat it.
they went back and beat it. Yeah, they
Good for
started
them.
it 30 years ago and then finally went back and figured it out.
That's awesome. I'm
Yep.
glad that people are having that experience.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're part of it. That
Yeah.
makes me happy. What is going on with my camera?
I
I'm
don't
getting a
know.
little stutter here, so
You're stuttery.
I am.
Well, your audio's okay, and that's really what the people want.
Yeah, they don't want to look at me. We could probably get rid of our
Yeah.
pictures and people would be like, "Yeah, this is fine."
Yeah, I
Uh,
think you spent a good 15 minutes on this layout though, and I think it would be a disservice if we didn't use it.
okay,
So
back to the topic.
I will say my biggest complaint with, well, I have two major complaints with this
okay.
game. One, I don't like the time-based bonus system where you start and it starts counting at you.
hmm
I don't need that kind of pressure. I see why they did it. Like, I'm sure if I were a kid, maybe I'd respond to it, but I kind of want to have that meditative fail often.
Try a bunch of stuff. Watch it go goofy.
Yeah, that's what I want out of this game, and I don't need stress.
Well,
In
go on.
No, that was the first thing. If do you have
Okay.
something
Well, I
you
want to add
to
on
say
that
about?
because, like, I wouldn't mind the timer if going back to I felt the controls handled better. Now I'm like frantically like going against a timer and I have controls that are fighting me.
Hmm.
Now it's not always my fault that I'm losing points and that frustrates me. But once you just don't care about the points and just
Yeah,
play the puzzles for the puzzles, you'll have a much better time. Don't just who cares?
yeah. I wouldn't even look at that. Like, I don't know. It's very rarely that I'm driven by the concept of score in a video game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe like if I go to the arcade and I'm playing Moon Patrol, like then I want to get the high score. But if I'm doing something at home, any one of these games, like
Right.
I just can't be bothered to worry
Right.
about my score. Uh, it's just not how I play games. So it did stress me out a little to have that thing ticking by, especially right at the beginning. But once you figure them out, like then it's just a race of how fast you can click,
Mm-hmm.
and how fast you can figure out which way to point these fucking magnifying
Magnifying.
glasses. That
I
was
started them
irritating.
out backwards. I'm like, oh, this is not how they're supposed to go. Okay, but
Yep.
that goes back to your thing here where sometimes this doesn't operate like you think. You got to hit play once and see how things go, and then go, okay, that's what it does, and
Right.
then build out from there.
Yeah, that's usually like my workflow for these, any level
Mm-hmm.
after like five is to just start the machine and look at what it's going to do.
Right.
Because like you can mentally extrapolate it, I'm sure, but there's something about watching it that just gives you a little bit more of an idea of what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Thing 1A that I didn't like was that I found there were actually three things. That was my clever
Okay.
way of
Making it
hiding
into
my
two.
fuck up.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, another thing I didn't like was that they often telegraph the solutions to the early levels to you, um, by setting up the first thing.
Right.
And I get it because they're like showing you the mechanic that you're going to use, and then you'll use it as you go. But it's a little like it's not very much fun to figure that early stuff
Right.
out because you just know, like they showed you.
Like in here, I'm going, okay, I need to shine a light on this, but I'm like, am I supposed to pop the balloon? What's the point of the balloon?
Right.
And this one I think is interesting as well because like what you need to do is light the candle.
Hmm.
That middle rocket is not necessary.
Right. There is you sent me the solution of this one, because I was just kind of talking about how I was stuck on it, and you sent me the solution. Um, and I went back and looked at another solution that did use all the rockets and all the components. But that's a thing I like about it is that it's
hmm
ultimately you're trying to do something simple, and however
Right.
you get there is fine.
And that's true. I think one of my complaints is like this is supposed to feel very Wile E. Coyote,
Hmm.
and it kind of never does. You know what I mean? Like eventually you just get down to pulleys and strings, and it's a leverage or a you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yeah. That's my third complaint is that once it starts getting hard, it's not hard in a way that you have to discover some new mechanic because like I said, they telegraph you all the mechanics that you need. It becomes how do I get this rope wired up right through the series of pulleys? And that's I don't find that really fun.
mm-hmm. And here's where
So
I figured out like, hey, I don't have to. And
yeah.
I'm like, okay, this does this, and oh, I'm gonna need to move it over, and then it probably occurs to me that like, hey, this should actually be under the light,
Yeah.
and so now, oh, still don't have that in the right place.
Yeah. I think you're oh, is it that you can't use the flashlight through the
You can.
um oh
I
you
don't.
can?
Yeah, I just have it lined up wrong or something.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have a target. If the magnifying glass doesn't have a target, it doesn't pinpoint the light anywhere. So I'm trying to pop a balloon with it, but balloons
Yeah.
don't pop from heat
Oh,
because
that's right. That's what it
yeah.
is. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, but overall, like I had fun. It kept me
Mm,
clicking, and like you want to solve them and you want to keep going. I think I got to probably the mid 20s, and then I just kind of got tired of it. I think there's like 60 levels. Is that correct in this one?
60 to 80 somewhere in there. Um, but yeah, I got tired of it too. That was ultimately uh, what I ran into is after hitting the 20th level or something, they add another thing to the level, and it's okay. This time it's got a monkey that when a shade goes up, there's a banana and it pedals, and that's how you turn something. Or
Yeah.
you blow air at a windmill and it turns something, and that's how it turns something. But it's always, I'm going to turn something to turn something. And it's clever and it's funny to look at, but it is the same device over and over and over and over and over again, just
Hmm.
with a different cartoon plastered on top of it. So
Yeah.
mentally I don't feel like I'm stretching. Game
Right.
design I don't feel like I'm changing through those 60 levels. It's just, how many pieces do you give me and can I get it in? To the score thing, I think it would have been more interesting to create a puzzle, figure out what the minimum number of pieces you need to solve it are. Something like this, where you know how many pieces you need to solve it, and then build a more convoluted way to solve it, and score the people on how few pieces they use. So if they're having a hard time with it, just use more pieces until you figure it out. So
Hmm.
it's a built-in difficulty slider, and it doesn't make you feel like you're taking too much time. It it,
Right.
it rewards people who can do it the quickest, fastest way, while at the same time building a an easy mode without it.
Right. Yeah,
That
that would have
was
been good. And like they made a bunch of these games. There's like 5 of them, and then there's I'm
yeah.
sure there's a bunch of spiritual successors to it.
Well, and that's the
Um,
one I want to talk about. So there's a spiritual successor called Contraption Maker. And normally I don't bring up spiritual successors, but this is made by the same two people who made these. And it's this. It's this game with more stuff that runs on a Windows computer, and the interface is slick. There's a ton more puzzles. There's some scripting in it, so there's some sort of coding you can do along with it.
mhm.
And like I said, my kids played this for 2 days, and then I got Contraption Maker because I wanted to see how it compared. I can't get my son off the computer anymore.
Yeah. Is he
He
playing Contraption Maker?
he's playing Contraption Maker
Cool.
all day and having a blast and making his own stuff. And there's like marble tracks and dominoes and more
Yeah.
animals and alligators and bears and dogs and cats, and um he is having a ton of fun just making silly things do silly things.
Sure.
And sometimes he does the puzzles. There's a plenty of puzzles if you want to enjoy the puzzle aspect of this. Contraption Maker has plenty.
Yeah.
But it just runs better. It just better
Yeah.
system all the way around.
When I think about like if I were gonna play this, I played this by sitting down and like saying, okay, I'm gonna play Incredible Machine for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the best way to play it. Like I think really the best way to play it is like you would have played it in school, where it's like you have 20 minutes after your computer class to dink
Mm-hmm.
around and like mess with Incredible Machine. I think that would be the best way to play it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's not something you're going to want to speed run or anything like that. You just want to fart around with it. That's what's fun about it.
And this is what I think's funny on this level. If you just watch what happened, like I'm trying to make it so you can light that rocket in the middle, and then I accidentally solve the puzzle and never light the rocket in the middle. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the?
Yeah.
Why are you even there other than to just mess with me? And maybe that's why
Yeah.
it was there, but
But yeah, that's a good thing about it.
mm-hmm.
Like this is a perfect example of a level where they telegraph the solution
Oh,
to you because
absolutely.
you're just putting the rest of the dynamite in there.
Yep.
Uh, and like I don't that's not very much fun.
No.
Yep. And then you do it, and then that's that. But yeah, as a time waster, something
Mm-hmm.
you can play for a few minutes, I'd get it. The collection's on Good Old Games, so you get like all of them or a bunch of them anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd still
and it's
recommend
cheap,
just go get Contraption Maker. It's also
really.
cheap. Yep. Just if you want a modern goof around with this, play a puzzle, go back,
Hmm.
you're going to get a better interface, same experience. You're going to enjoy the experience more with the modern interface. If you have some strong nostalgia for this, well, then you're going to play this.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, it's one of those where if you have the memory from school of playing this, you'll play this. If you don't, go get Contraption Maker.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's there's you got the mice cages, you got bird cages, you got cats that chase things, dogs that chase things. There's a little
Hmm.
handyman who runs around.
Sounds like fun. It's lighthearted fun.
Yeah, it's super lighthearted fun. So can't can't complain. Anything else you want to say about this? Short game, short episode. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, this is it.
this
Like
is it.
it's yeah.
Contraption. It's a incredible machine.
Yep.
I feel like I'd say I feel like we're forgetting something, but I can't
Uh,
think of anything we're forgetting.
yeah, that you're getting into the monkey stuff now, and it gets progressively more complicated, but still the same mechanically.
Yeah.
So
So whoop. Transition. Long game is Magic Carpet.
yep.
That's what we're playing now. Who doesn't love some Magic Carpet? Uh, Next short game. You ready?
Oh,
Theme park.
yes.
I have a feeling we'll have a lot more to say about theme park, even though it's a short game.
Hmm.
Um,
I have a feeling we're gonna play theme park like it's a long game
I think we
because I really like theme
are.
park.
I think so too. I also really loved theme park, and it's one of those where you can play it like a short game, or you can roll up your sleeves and get into the weeds on it and have a
Yep.
good time. In a way that I never had fun with Roller Coaster Tycoon and other
Yeah, theme park
stuff.
was its own special thing. Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm hoping it holds up.
Right.
I haven't played it in a long time. This could go very badly, but it's Bullfrog. It's at their peak. I remember having a good time. I'll be very surprised if we don't enjoy
Yeah.
it. Theme park's
Yeah, I'm
fun.
excited.
Anything else? Any other news?
I have nothing to report.
Nor do I. So we'll just say bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.